It is so interesting to me that we cannot think about a different perspective. We can't sit down and shut our mouth long enough to think about, oh, you know what that person said sort of makes sense. There are a lot of people out there that are willing to learn, willing to get better, willing to look at perspectives. Those people are excelling. They're taking off like a jet. Everybody else is just sitting on the runway, bitching, moaning, and complaining because they're not going anywhere. But yet they don't want to change anything. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Well, first of all, I hope you all had a very good Christmas and you're going to have a happy new year. I am hoping. All right, today we are going to talk about perspectives, different perspectives. You know, this is something that I actually pride myself on the fact that, and I'll pat myself in the back a little bit here, that I love to listen to people's different perspectives on things. I mean, even if it's something that I am 100% round in, like IULs suck. Okay. That's one of the things that'll get my goat. IULs suck or whatever. I still want to hear, like, how did they sell that to you? Why would you think that's okay? If you are an agent that sells IULs, why do you think that they're okay? Why do you think whole life is so bad? I want to hear that. I want to hear how people see things, okay? And so I don't quite understand people that I would say have arrived, as Nelson says. We've arrived. We don't need to learn anything new. And so people that don't want to learn anything about the infinite banking concept obviously are not here. But that don't want to learn anything about the infinite banking concept also don't want to read a book. So this all comes up for me because there is this lady on TikTok and I don't know her well. Hopefully I get to know her better. She basically came from the city, moved to a ranch, and now she is looking for ranch hands because she's running this ranch. Seems to me that she has surrounded herself with knowledgeable people. She is watching other ranchers and she is trying to gain knowledge. She is saying that, hey, I need a ranch hand. I believe you should only work 40 hours a week. If you get paid for 40 hours a week, you should only work 40 hours a week. You can have weekends and nights off. You don't need to be working 24/7. And she wants a resume for these people that are applying. Y'all, I am severely disappointed in the comments and the people that are fighting her on the fact that she wants a resume for her ranch hand. I am also equally disappointed in the people that are mad because she wants somebody with some computer experience because she's running her operation that she needs people to be able to use the computer for whatever it is she's doing and however she's doing it. So we have people that have been in the industry a very, very long time. And obviously she's not. She's come in from the outside and she's changing things up. She is making them more to align with what, 8 to 5 business owners do, which has been a complaint in the ranch world forever. Or in the farming world forever. We don't work 8 to 5. We don't get weekends off, blah, 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 blah. So now there are people complaining that they have to create a resume, that they have to learn how to use a computer. And then, so I shared this on TikTok and said, why is everybody so upset about this? And I had one guy say to me, well, it's corporate. How is it corporate? She runs a smaller operation from what I can tell. How is that corporate? You mean it's corporate in the essence that she's not willing to just interview people all day long that came without a resume? And he said, well, she should be teaching them how to use a computer. I don't hire people that I have to teach how to use a computer. I don't have time to teach people how to use a computer. There is this little thing called YouTube. And there's also this little thing called self-motivation. And if you want to get better, you would motivate yourself to do that. You would go out and do the due diligence. So if we can't teach ourselves how to use a computer, if we can't go find our own help to use a computer, so we can have a job that we work 40 hours a week instead of all day and night. If we can't do that for a possible better job, and that comes on our employer, at what point are we so entitled? Is that any different than me saying, you have to read the book before I talk to you? Oh, that makes people mad. Oh my gosh, do people get mad? Why the hell do I have to read a book before I talk to you? You're just trying to sell books. No. I am trying to educate you. So we're on the same page. If you don't want to read the book and you want to be sold to and you want me to try to convince you of something, then we're not meant to work together. Because you're supposed to become your own banker. You're supposed to be in charge of your bank. This is not Mary Jo convincing you to buy a policy so then Mary Jo can hold your hand until the day she dies or you die. Right? No, that's not what this is about, my friends. Why? And this is not just the agriculture world, but it feels like in the agriculture world, we have more of this old style mindset. The same person that is complaining they have to do a resume or they have to read a book or they have to learn how to use a computer has one of these little devices in their hand. Yep, we got one of these. And we sure know how to text. We sure know how to get online and look at complete crap, right? We know how to get onto forums. We know how to waste our time with this electronic device, but we don't want to use that device to teach us something else. And then here's the next question. If you don't want to use a computer, how are you going to keep your books? On a piece of paper? You're going to write all your expenses, all your income on a piece of paper? In a notebook with pen? And you're going to spend more time analyzing that data and adding it up with a calculator than if you just put that in an Excel spreadsheet or QuickBooks or something and you saved yourself the time so that you could quickly get your numbers and analyze everything? Really? You don't want to use a computer. Does your accountant use a computer to file your taxes? Do you use a computer to file your taxes? Or do you just send the IRS a big notebook? Think about it. It is so interesting to me that we cannot think about a different perspective. We can't sit down and shut our mouth long enough to think about, oh, you know what that person said sort of makes sense. And I use this example of my daughter all the time. You know, when she had her 10 to 7 job or 10 to 6 or whatever it was, and she's like, Mom, I'm not made to work those hours. I need time for self-care. Oh my God, I laughed at her. Yep, I laughed at her. And then I sat back because she made one comment that said, I only get 4 hours to myself during the day. You know, she has a legitimate statement. Why did I think 4 hours to myself was good enough my whole life? Every day, I get 4 hours in the evening to myself, or I get 5 hours or 6 hours or whatever it is to myself, right? From 5 until 10, 5 hours to myself. Why is that okay? I've had people say, you know, Mary Jo, as I got older, I added up how much time I spend with my coworkers versus how much time I spend with my family. And now I want to spend as much time with my family as I can because I actually spend more time with my coworkers. It's a different perspective. After I laughed at my daughter, I then sat on her comment and thought, is she wrong? Right? Is she wrong? Does she just want better? Does she want more time? Does she expect to have the same results with less time? We have to have that conversation, right? We need to talk about that. And if she does expect to have better results with less time, does she plan to change how business is done so she can create more income with less time? I'm not going to say it's wrong and I'm not going to say it's right. Because could she prove me wrong? Absolutely. Are there people out there that do that? Absolutely. Do I know how to do it? Gosh, I sure wish I did. I mean, I like working. That's half the battle. But nonetheless, why are we in this industry of agriculture? Why are we so committed to making things really, really hard? Why are we so committed to not wanting to learn something different? It's a question I have for you. Not everybody, because if it was everybody, I wouldn't have any clients. There are a lot of people out there that are willing to learn, willing to get better, willing to look at perspectives. But those people are excelling. They're taking off like a jet. Everybody else is just sitting on the runway, bitching, moaning, and complaining because they're not going anywhere. But yet they don't want to change anything. And it seems to me that this industry is the worst. And I don't know if that's true. Because I think that that's true for 97% of people. There's a reason that 3% of the population are the top earners. Because the other 97 don't want to do anything. They don't want to have to change. They don't want to have to learn anything once they leave college. They don't look at what other people are doing and implement those things into their lifestyle. If we take it out into industries, is it equivalent per capita? I don't know. It seems like it's agriculture, and I feel like it's just seems that way because that's what I'm engulfed in every day. But the moral of the story is, if it's you, pick up a book and learn. Figure out how to turn the computer on. I was telling my husband about this last night, and he said, hey, you be nice to those of us that don't like to use a computer, because he's one of them. And guess what he hears? Learn how to use a computer. Learn. Nobody's stopping you from going on the YouTubes and figuring out how to do something on the computer. He's had to learn. He doesn't like it, but he's had to learn with his position at work. There's no excuse to just be like, oh, I'm not going to learn that unless I have to. People say, oh, Mary Jo, you're such a know-it-all. I don't know it all, but I learn a lot of stuff. And I listen to a lot of stuff. And I absolutely like to know a lot about a lot of stuff. I'm not a know-it-all. You're just a I don't want to know anything kind of person. So the next time that you talk to me and I'm like, oh, hey, you know what? I heard about that. Or I heard somebody else say something different about that. It's because I've been listening to it. Who knows when I'm going to need it? I just find it fascinating to learn. But guess what happens in life when you do that? Everything just starts to get easier and better. Okay. If you have some ideas of why this is, let me know. I'm guessing you're not going to have any because you're listening to this. And those that aren't listening are the ones I'm talking to. But if you need to share this with one of those, feel free. And then if they listen to it, sweet. Chances are they probably won't open it. Okay, you guys, you let me know if you have some insight on this. But I love different perspectives of everything. I love them. I don't always agree with them, but I like them because it makes me think. And I might have to ponder it for a while, but at least I got something to ponder. Okay, let me know if you need anything, maryjo@withoutthebank.com. If you have not gotten your books, get your books so that we can sit down and have a conversation and see if this works for you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next podcast and you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for listening to the Farming Without the Bank podcast. We hope today's episode has inspired you to take control of your finances in new ways. Don't forget to check out our website, farmingwithoutthebank.com, and engage with us on our Facebook page, Farming Without the Bank. Join us next week as we smash more financial myths and empower you to accomplish your financial goals.